Kathy by Design, and this is Wonderful Wednesday. This is a weekly series that I do here on my channel where I share a tutorial for something fun. We follow a schedule. The first Wednesday of the month is the tag of the month, followed by the banner of the month, then the birthday card of the month, and the flower of the month. So this is the third Wednesday. It's time to make our birthday card of the month, and I pulled out all the stops to make this gorgeous Ciao Bella Enchanted Land birthday As far card. As supplies go, we're using all the same things we've used in the 2 previous weeks. Ciao Bella's Enchanted Land in the 12 by 12, the 12 by 12 patterns, the 8 by 8, the A4, and the 6 by 6 fussy cut. Beautiful board from Reneabouquets and flowers from Reneabouquets, and then some reasonable ribbon and even some trim from Spellbinders thrown in here. You'll be able to find a linked supply list on my blog, which is linked in the description box below this video. This is a big card, 5 by 8.5. It's got a beautiful shaker window with paper pretties from Reneabouquets, these pretty mermaid tail gems, a butterfly, a little magical bottle full of magic wishes, this sweet bookmark that pulls out and goes back on, a little floral display. These are all Reneabouquets, a little snail on a stump. It's just magical and sweet. On the inside, we've got a flap page with a secret flower packet tucked behind it, stamped sentiment up here, celebrate your day. Down here, we've got a pocket loaded with goodies. We've got a little over-the-top bookmark. We've got a sweet little sachet with a tea bag and a honey crystal packet behind it. And then a lovely little blank sentiment card so you can write your own personal wishes. This is such a fun card to make. I'm going to show you how to do the shaker window, transforming that beautiful board into a fabulous shaker element. So if you'd like to learn how, stick around because the tutorial is coming up next. So here's our prepared shaker frame. This is a Reneabouquets Blue Patina Violet. I just love this particular frame, and it looks really awesome with this paper. I always start by gluing my acetate sheet to the back, and then I use my Tim Holtz scissors to trim around it. And I trim as close to the frame as I can, so I end up with something that looks like this. Then I've got this 4x4 image from the 8x8 pad. This is so pretty. I love the nighttime sky. And we're going to put our frame over here after we add some shaker elements. So this is Buttons Galore and More. These are old. They don't carry these anymore, but I think if you look, you can probably find something similar. This one is called Midwinter Night. And then I have these Picket Fence, and this one is called Spring Has Sprung. So we're going to reach in here, and I want some of these goodies inside. These have little tiny stars, which is perfect for this particular design because of the fairies and the nighttime sky. So I'm just going to add these all in there. And by the way, if you ever have a spill, because sequins are really hard to clean up, use packing tape. It grabs it very quickly, it cleans it up thoroughly, it's cheap, and that's what I use if I have a little sequin spill. Some of these little tiny pieces are very, very hard to pick up by hand, but I think that's pretty good for this one. Our picket fence, look how pretty. Ooh, I love how they sparkle. And these are going to go into the mix, and that is a really pretty shaker. Now, some of these are round pearls in the picket fence, which is why I added 3 layers of foam tape. All right, and I'll clean all of this up on my own time. Here we go. All right, I want everything kind of up in the middle. You don't want anything around the edges, because if it is, it won't adhere, and then you'll have leaks. So I'm going to put this at an angle because I want to capture this little mushroom house, which is so sweet. I'm going to tip these down in a little bit more. There we go. And I press it firmly, and then I check it for leaks. And that looks really good. I'm just going to press firmly all the way around to make sure everything is sealed well. Now you see right there, I've got a little gap. I think we're going to be all right. Yeah. So there's our sweet little shaker. And then I'm just going to come in with my scissors and trim around. All right, that looks really good. And this is going to go on our card at an angle like you saw. And then I'm going to bring in our fairiest of them all, fairy. And she's going to be sitting up here above everything. And I'll add some glue back behind her. I've got one layer of foam tape to kind of bridge the gap between the frame and the acetate. And then I'll just come in with my glue, my regular glue. But she is such a perfect match for this collection. Her tights are the exact color of the blue patina, and the darker colors in her costume pick up on the purples in the paper collection. So that is just a really pretty shaker, and that is probably the hardest thing we're going to do today. So now we'll set this aside and move on. All right, friends, let's get started by building the base for this big card. And you're going to, from a deep purple cardstock, cut 2 5 by 11 panels. And then you're going to join them together on the 5-inch end, just like we do all the time. And then you're going to trim them so that they measure 8.5 inches. So 5 by 8.5, all right? And then you're going to cut from your white cardstock 3 panels of 4 3/4 by 8 1/4 inch cardstock. And then from that beautiful deep midnight blue, you're going to cut a panel that is 4 5/8 by 8 1/8. And then you're going to cut 6 pad. This is the inside of a chipboard base that is usually used for trash. I think this is from a 49 in Market collection. And I glued a little round of wood that my son cut for me onto this green kind of leafy background. Then I did my little fussy cut squirrel. These are wood shavings from his shop. He's a wood turner, Deep Roots Workshop. And then these are just little micro beads that I scattered around with adhesive. Let's go ahead. This is a Reneabouquets trinket. It's this beautiful bookmark. We're going to put this here. We're not going to glue it. We're going to leave the glue open on either side of it so it can slide out and be given as a gift. And then I have some pretty twine that I'm going to wrap around it. And then I have this little sweet fairy trinket from Renee's shop that I'm going to slip over the twine. So it's going to look like this. It's going to be so cute. And this is going to make a very nice little gift on this birthday card. So I'm just going to do this, and then I'm going to tie back the other way. And I know I have a ridiculously long piece of string, but I wasn't sure how much I was going to need. And then I'm just going to tie a little bow, and that's going to go right there. Okay, that's real sweet. And I know we'll find some other purpose for this. Now we can come in with our beautiful fairiest of them all. And she's going to go, let me see. I might want to move this over just a little bit. There we go. She's going to go right up here like her house is floating in the nighttime sky. I just love the way this looks. And we're going to put our adhesive on the back. And I want it to go on the side like this, which I realize that's supposed to be a heart, but I kind of like it on the side like that. I think it looks kind of neat. Now I can place my little snail because I don't want to cover up our sentiment down here. Oops, and some of those micro beads are still falling off. They do that. They make a mess, but they sure are pretty. That's going to go right there. Okay, and then I need to figure out, well, let's move him up a little bit. Yeah, let's start dressing this little card up. I'm loving it so far. I want to take some of these Reneabouquets Mirabelle roses. And as always, I've started with my leaves, laying them down where I want them to be. And this kind of helps create the shape. See, I'm going to get a nice curve here. Okay. And then I'm going to put this rose right here. I went into my stash and I found a few feathers that I want to incorporate into this. I've got this aqua blue, it kind of goes with the patina blue, and I've got a purple. I'm just going to set these in place. They add a fun little bit of texture. All right, and now I want to come in with this little trio of rosebuds, and I'm going to tuck it right here, just like that. I've got this little Cosmos daisy. Well, let me see. Hold on, what do I want to do next? I think I want to do this purple rose. And I want to sneak it in right here so it catches those feathers. And then I want to stick this Cosmos daisy in like that. Oops. And I want to thank Reneabouquets for sponsoring Fairy Month. I told her this is what I wanted to do, and she very generously sent me a box of all kinds of fairy chippies and flowers and just anything that she thought I might be able to use. So she is in large part responsible for the success of Fairy Month. So thank you, Renee. We love working with your beautiful product and your fairy products. I can tell she loves fairies because her fairy products are extra special. All right, so there's our little floral thing. And then I tied an elderberry seam binding bow. I'm going to tuck right here under our anchor flower. There we go. And I tied a little twine bow, the same twine we used up at the top. And that's also going to go down in there. I like to use the points of my scissors because this glue is hot. And if you've ever had a close encounter with hot glue, you don't ever want to repeat it, although I have repeated it on numerous occasions to my chagrin. It's always hot. it's always hot. Surprise, surprise, it's always hot. Let me see. Let's put one. I don't want purple. Well, we'll think about that. We don't have to do that immediately. We can. What I have here is a Reneabouquet glitter glass butterfly. It's lavender, And I tied twine around our little sparkle bottle and wrapped it around the back. And now we're going to glue this down right here. I'm just going to hold that in place for a second. I actually want to add some of these mermaid tail beautiful beads. And I think where I want them to be is like under her feet. I couldn't decide if I wanted them there or if I wanted them over here. I think I want to spill them like they've fallen out of the butterfly's magical jar. And it will also draw attention to our sentiment. So I'm just going to spill these. Of course, I didn't want those to spill there. Yeah, I like that. That's really pretty. I think that's good, y'all. I really like the way that turned out. So now we're going to set this aside, let everything dry, and then we'll put it on the cover as the last step. All right, friends, we're just about finished here. I will show you that on the inside of this card, I created a little flap page. This is made with the 12 by 12 paper. So what I did was I cut it to a height of 8 inches, and then I cut off this 4.5 inch panel to line the bottom and used the rest of it to make this little flap page on the top and just scored it at 4.5. I stamped a little greeting up here. I stamped it in black archival ink and then heat embossed it with gold embossing powder. I've used washi tape to put a little seed packet back there. And these are all fussy cut from the A4 pack and the 12 by 12 pack. In the pocket, I made a slip over the top bookmark. And then this is just a little tea sachet. And instead of making a pocket, I put the tea in there with washi tape and created a little sentiment panel up here. And then here's a large sentiment panel. These are fussy cut from the paper. Again, a stamped sentiment, stamped in black archival ink and heat embossed with gold. And then a panel on the back to write your greetings. So that all goes in the pocket. Now we're going to put the cover on. This is such a pretty project. I love the way it turned out. This makes a great birthday present. And we're not going to put glue around the little bookmark charm. We're just going to put our glue probably right about to there, and then on the back. And then we're going to center this up. On our front cover, just like that. And then once this dries, that bookmark can be pulled in and out. I think this is such a fun birthday card. It's great for anybody. I mean, it's great for a little girl, it's great for a teenage girl, it's great for an old lady like me. I would love it too. Sweet little snails, all these things. What a great project. I hope you enjoyed making it with me. Don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't joined us yet. We have a lot of fun here. We have one more week for Fairy Week, and it will be the flower of the month. I'll see ya next Wednesday. Kathy Clement, Kathy by Design. Go get your craft on. Bye.